So the first topic of the presentation is to look at the types of damage that someone can do to a system. Now the first one is pretty obvious. That's called disclosure of information. In other words, theft. So stealing information by accessing something that doesn't belong to you. The other one, the second one, is destruction of information, and that can happen actually without having access to the information. So any kind of act of sabotage would be destruction of information without being able to read it. The third problem, or the third type of damage, is unauthorized use of service, and we all know what that means. It means if you are installing software without the license, some kind of a pirated copy, that's all theft of information, not information, but unauthorized use of a service. And if someone uses a fake ID or borrows a password or something just to use something on the internet, well, that would also make unauthorized use of service. The last issue is denial of service, and that's a very subtle issue because it's hard to define it. Denial of service means that you're preventing other users, legitimate users, from actually doing what they like to do. But the problem is that it could be just accidental. It could be too much traffic on the internet, but it could also be on purpose. It could be an act of sabotage or an act of some sort of fight between companies, competition and so on, where one tries to damage the other. So we'll look at that later. So now, a security system is only as secure as its weakest link. And there are many different places where someone can attack a system. So we have to look at all of these places and make sure that all are secure, because as long as there is one hole, somebody is going to get through that hole. And so we have to look at both hardware and software, meaning CPU, memory, communication, the devices, and so on. And in terms of software, anything that is stored on the computer. So all of this needs to be guarded, and for each of those there are different attacks, and for each there are different means of preventing these attacks.